Well, they say the third time is the charm, and it may be true. For today's recipe, joining us in our ciKitchen from the Family to Table blog, it's our guest chef, Natalie Kinney Marquez. So we're whipping our way through Great Grandma Nellie's cookbooks, journals, and now we're making a recipe featuring dates. Yes?
Dates and whipped cream, which I almost forgot in the fridge just now.
Oh, no.
You saw me get that out because you got to keep it nice and whipped. But this is second week in a row I've brought a recipe that has the word pudding in it, but there's actually like no pudding in it.
Huh, so I wonder where that comes from.
I don't know.
Huh. Well, we also mentioned that it has 3 different versions. So have you been testing each one and picking your favorite, or how does that work?
It was kind of a combination of trying to figure out her little chicken scratch writing of like, I tried this year or this year, and measurements are still a little bit different, the way she would write things down compared to what I've grown up learning how to measure and cook with. Same thing happened last week with that recipe too. So this is kind of a combination of all 3 of her versions. I'd say most closely to the 1930 version.
Okay, and we're making an uncooked date pudding.
Yes.
So what goes into it besides dates that I confused for bacon?
Well, bacon wrap dates are really good, but no bacon this time.
They look just like bacon.
So ultimately, this is going to end up being what I would call a date nut roll.
Okay, like a log?
Yep, and so this recipe actually makes 2 rolls. So we'll start by adding the nuts into the marshmallows.
Ooh, I saw on your Facebook page, you put the girls to work cutting up your marshmallows.
I think everybody got involved in cutting up these marshmallows because it calls for a ½ pound of marshmallows cut up, and so we cut them up into
little pieces.
This one in first.
Oh, this one first, the nuts.
The walnuts, which you can get at your farmer's market.
Okay.
Side note, dates, which we also chopped up because you want these to be smaller pieces. Like I said, we're going to make this into a roll.
They're a little sticky.
This whole recipe is really sticky. And speaking of sticky, when you're cutting the marshmallows or the dates, spray a little Pam on your knife or your scissors when you're cutting, and that will really help to keep things from being so sticky.
Okay. Next.
So let's give this a little stir because, like I said, it is a sticky recipe.
Now, this is going to be kind of a sweet, almost dessert type. Or how would you serve this, like a cookie?
Definitely a dessert. It's topped with whipped cream. You cut it into slices. So each roll that we will make makes about 10 to 12 pieces. It's surprisingly not as sweet as I thought. I think the graham cracker kind of mellows it out a little bit. Yep.
Are we ready for the graham cracker?
Graham cracker.
Okay. And it goes.
And then we'll kind of mix that up. And last but not least is a cup of whipped cream.
What is your trick to making whipped cream?
Everything has to be super cold. Even if the bowl is cold, that also helps, but make sure that your whipping cream, the cream, is very, very cold. And if you need to add a little bit of substance to it, you could put, sometimes I put a little bit of vanilla in it, maybe a sprinkle of powdered sugar. I know that there's stabilizers that you can put in there if you want the stiff peaks to last longer. That's a bakery trick.
All right, so you're combining all of these, so then the whipped cream's going to go in there as well.
Yep.
And then what's the process? What are we going to be doing?
We're going to mold these into 2 long rolls.
Okay.
And wrap them in saran wrap and put them in the fridge.
And let it kind of sit for and harden up a little bit.
Yep, this will become like... This is a great kid recipe to make. If you're running out of things to do with your kids these last 2 weeks before school starts, you're like, hey, let's cut some marshmallows and make this. I didn't just do that with my kids.
And I'm sure they didn't eat any in the process of the cutting either.
I walked away and came back, and there were marshmallows gone, but they weren't in the bowl.
I'm going to blame Cece on that one.
Well, yep,
maybe.
I can see her smiling right now.
Okay, well, we're going to get our little log rolled here, and we'll have the uncooked date pudding that really isn't a pudding reveal a little bit later. You can find this recipe on Natalie's blog or on our website, ciLiving.tv, right now.